The American hunt for drug traffickers in the ocean. American hunt for drug traffickers on the ocean. The Pacific Ocean, a boundless expanse glittering under the morning sun, appears serene. But as is often the case, nature's calm is deceptive and a storm follows it, whether natural or human-made. Today, the storm will be human-made, more precisely, a hunt. Humans will hunt humans. A go-fast boat races over the waves at 50 knots, about 58 miles per hour, carrying 5 men who are already tasting a payday worth millions of dollars and the freedom that such money can buy. Beneath blue tarp sits a cargo of cocaine valued at over $40 million, the kind of shipment that can ruin hundreds of lives. To prevent that, to save those hundreds of lives, the 5 people on that boat must be stopped. Simple arithmetic. The Eastern Pacific, southwest of Acapulco, has long been a key corridor for cartel go-fast operations. Speedboats shuttle cocaine loads out to international waters, where they're picked up by motherships disguised as fishing trawlers or freighters. Sometimes the cargo is offloaded to Central America for overland transit. The ultimate destination is always the United States, but the route runs through a chain of intermediate links, and every leg of that route is a risky stretch of a vast narco relay. In recent years, both the tempo and scale of interdictions in this basin have surged. The Coast Guard and the Navy regularly report multi-ton seizures and transshipments, and in August 2025, Hitron reported its 1,000th operation intercepting such vessels. Operations here commonly combine aerial reconnaissance, helicopter intercepts, and surface interceptors. The zigzag tactics and high speed make go-fast boats difficult targets, but modern surveillance systems and Hitron tactics can negate that advantage. Back to the cartel boat, speeding with its lethal cargo. The people aboard feel invulnerable. The route is proven. The money has been paid to the right people, the sea is empty. But there's something they don't know. Hundreds of miles from shore, high above the ocean, a US Coast Guard Super Hercules has been tracking them for 2 hours. Its AN/APY-154 radar detects every contact within a 200-mile radius. On the HC-130J display, a moving glint turns into numbers. Markers appear. Contact 237, speed 50 knots. Profile does not match a fishing vessel. Course leads to nowhere. The AIS transponder is off. 3 checks against 1 boat make the conclusion inevitable. With high probability, these are drug traffickers. That means a hunt is about to begin. The hunters are a unit that's proven its professionalism 1,000 times over. Hitron is the elite of the US Coast Guard. They're the ones who can shoot accurately from a boat rolling on the waves. They're the ones who can fast rope from a helicopter onto a suspect vessel. They're the ones who have stripped cartels of contraband worth billions. Now their next target races across the waves straight into the hunter's embrace. Silence in the Super Hercules cockpit gives way to focused activity. The data on the suspicious cutter is pushed down the chain at once. From the HC-130J, it's relayed over the Secure Link 16 channel to the USCG Kimball Battle Information Center. This is not just a ship, but one of the Coast Guard's most modern patrol guardians, a 127-meter Legend-class giant with a 13,000-mile range, a helicopter deck, and its own high-speed boats for special teams. Kimball is home-ported in Hawaii, and here in the Eastern Pacific, it serves as a mobile fortress that provides Hitron hunters with everything they need. A terse report reaches the tactical officer's console. Target, speed 50 knots, course northeast. AIS not responding. Likely traffickers. Recommend launching aviation for interception. A decision is immediate on the ship. Kimball is 200 miles away. Her top speed is 28 knots, so she cannot catch a go-fast. But Hitron has another asset, a helicopter. At current speed, the go-fast would burn its fuel reserve in roughly 4 hours. A helicopter can launch and resolve the situation much faster, while the cutter will arrive later to process the scene and secure evidence. The plan is straightforward. Launch the MH-65E, send Hitron to intercept, and close the ring. On deck, the MH-65E Dolphin is readied. Pilots check the hoist, fuel tanks, and weapons. This is not the tourist-friendly Dolphin postcard helicopter you see in Hawaii. This is a hunter variant, armed and modified specifically for Hitron missions. An LRAD acoustic hailing device, an M240B machine gun, and, crucially, a Barrett 50 caliber BMG sniper rifle used to disable engines on fleeing boats. At 11 o'clock, the turbine shafts spin up, the rotors slice the air, and the helicopter climbs into the blue haze. Its target is the white wake on the water, the rooster tail from 4 screaming Mercury outboards, the very boat that believes the ocean hides it. On the helicopter's primary display, points glow, Kimball, launch point, go, fast, target, and an interception line plotted by the navigation system. The pilot adjusts course so the helicopter will arrive on the interception line ahead of the cutter's projected track and hold a flank position relative to the boat at about 1,500 feet. That distance makes small arms fire from the traffickers ineffective against the helicopter and also denies the boat a comfortable zigzag evasion pattern. Short radio position and time reports go back to the ship, 10 miles, climbing to 3,000 feet. Visual contact in 2 minutes. The MH-65E settles into a level run. The higher the altitude, the farther the visibility, the better the optical sensor's view, and the more fuel efficient the flight. The crew spots the white streak on the ocean, the rooster tails streaming half a mile aft. It's like a criminal's tracks in snow that'll lead straight to him. The flight mechanic zooms in, and silhouettes of people, tarps, and blurred shadows of cargo appear on the monitor below him. The pilot calculates time in his head. It's 20 minutes from departure point to interception point. In that window, the helicopter must position itself to be at a safe standoff to secure the best observation angle and to be in line to employ the LRAD and, if required, weapons. He reduces speed, aligns the course, and begins a smooth descent to the planned interception altitude, first to 3,000 feet, then to 1,500 to finalize the assessment and choose the optimal distance. The flat ocean, bisected by the boat's white wake, rushes up beneath them. The pilot's voice comes over steady. Interception course set. Maintain 1,500-foot offset off the stern. Prepare LRAD and visual signals. The flight mechanic slews the LRAD and tunes the optics. The sniper checks the Barrett's zeroing. All is ready. The countdown to active measures begins. Seconds start to tick away. The pilot and co-pilot practice the ingress corridor, soft course trims, altitude management, and on-air reports. 5 miles to target, altitude 1,000 feet. 3 miles to target, altitude 700 feet. The LRAD activates, unleashing 162 decibels of sound onto the boat. To the drug traffickers, it feels as if someone is shouting directly into their ears. First in English, then in Spanish. United States Coast Guard, stop your vessel. Prepare to be boarded. The voice drowns out the roar of the 4 engines, but the boat does not slow and keeps pressing forward. The smugglers have no intention of surrendering. For them, that only makes things worse. The pilot reports crisply, non-compliant, requesting authorization for warning fire. Kimball replies without delay, permission granted, warning fire authorized. A short burst of tracers streaks from the helicopter. Tiny fountains erupt in the water just feet in front of the boat's bow, an unmistakable message. Stop now or the next splashes will not be in the water but through the hull. 10-gram bullets traveling at 2.5 Mach, about 2,800 feet per second, are not for negotiation. Yet the boat still does not slow. All 4 Mercury outboards scream at full throttle. The pilot decides, proceeding to disabling fire, Barrett authorized. The sniper settles behind the scope, a single shot cracks. The first 12.7mm round slams into the starboard outer engine, which instantly dies, spilling a thin trail of oil. The boat's speed drops from 50 to 38 knots. A second shot silences the port outer engine. A third round takes out another, leaving the vessel crawling like a fishing skiff at 10 to 12 knots. Not for long. A fourth shot, and the last working motor erupts in oil and steam, highlighted by flickers of flame. The pilot reports on the net, target disabled, holding position for boarding. On Kimball's deck, 2 7-meter ribs rigid inflatable boats are lowered into the water. 6 men ride each one, members of the tactical team wearing level 4 ballistic vests with integrated flotation, helmets, tactical gloves, M4 carbines fitted with EOTech holographic sights, and a supply of less lethal options. Ahead lies the immobilized Go Fast. The ribs close in using a practiced pincher approach. The lead boat cuts toward the stern. The second swings in from the flank to seal any escape path. The distance collapses. 10 meters. 7. 6. The boarding team stands ready. At 5 meters, a sharp command rings out. Manos arriba, a suelo. Hands up, down on the deck. The black pupils of carbine barrels stare at the traffickers, index fingers resting on triggers. The 5 aboard the Go Fast freeze. Their hands rise slowly. From the stern, the second rib glides up, erasing even the illusion of escape. The boarding action lasts only seconds. Several servicemen vault onto the trafficker's boat. In moments, the suspects' hands are cinched with plastic restraints and they're transferred to the Coast Guard craft. A search begins. Tarps are pulled back to reveal neatly stacked bales. They're photographed, tagged, and sealed with evidence labels before being carefully moved to the rib. The fate of the disabled boat is decided quickly. Towing a hull with shot-out engines is risky and resource-heavy. Protocol requires recovering the evidence, and destroying the vessel is criminal infrastructure while minimizing environmental and navigation hazards. The disposal team places fuel cans across the deck, then pours gasoline over the Go Fast's floor. The American boats pull back about 30 feet. The senior officer shoulders a flare gun, aims, and fires. The signal flare arcs toward the trafficker's boat. Flames engulf it almost instantly, rising in waves of smoke as cameras record every moment. A terse transmission goes out over the net. Vessel destroyed. Evidence recovered and documented. Suspect secured. Within hours, the charred remains will sink. Only a thin oil sheen will remain on the surface, gone in a day or two. The seized narcotics and the detainees will be brought aboard Kimball for medical checks, documentation, and handover to federal investigators. At dawn, Kimball will set a course for the nearest port. The seized bales will be carefully packaged, sealed, and sent to a court laboratory where their composition and weight will be determined. Those figures will form the basis of the indictments. The detainees will be handed over to investigators and prosecutors. Their case will begin the legal process that'll end in multi-year prison sentences. A report on the operation will travel up the chain of command and reach the media. The shipment of drugs that could have destroyed hundreds of lives will never reach the market. For Hitron, this is both a routine and a heavy victory. One more link in the cartel's logistics has been severed, but the monster itself has not been destroyed. That's a task for another level. In the meantime, patrol aircraft will continue to fly over problem areas, their radars probing the ocean's surface, and boarding teams will remain ready at a moment's notice to rush to intercept trafficker boats. Drugs are an evil, and evil must be destroyed. Thank you for watching. We'd be grateful for a like and a subscription to our channel. See you soon.